Y'all, it has been a summer. This summer is barely halfway through, and it has been just a summer. But a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And I want to share a little bit of that because it is going to affect what is put out here on the channel. Not that anything is put out here on the channel, but I guess I really should try more. You know, it used to be that you wrote and you submitted your book and you did book tours and things. And that was how you got your book out there. That's how you got to be known. And all of that happened after, you did the thing. But these days, to get published and to really make yourself known, you have to have a platform first. And that's where I've been really getting stuck. And I've been at this a while. I'm really, really crappy at this though. I am very bad at regular videos, at regular posts, at regular anything. Really, honestly, about the only thing I'm very good at is writing, reading, and research. And archiving, which is actually what I'm doing today. I need to clear out a couple of drawers so that I can start storing some of the articles and papers and everything that I am gathering for my new direction, which I'm going to tell you about here in just a minute. So I'm clearing a couple of drawers so that I can bought myself a couple of really fancy archive boxes that are acid free and will last for a while, so I can neatly arrange these V-mails. These are all V-mails from my great-grandfather from 1943 and 1944. As you can see, they're all a bunch of them. They're a little bit out of order because I was going through them last year, and so I'm just putting them back in order right now before I put them away. And when I get back to them, because I will, because they're staying out here, I can go right back into them easily without fussing too much. So new directions. Writing a whole book about field artillery in World War II, or a whole series of books, which is what I had dreamed of. Big plan, big ambitious. And I'm good at ambitious, which is great, but sometimes it's okay to slow down and take small chunks. And then recently an opportunity arose. Came across my Facebook feed, let's be more honest, with the LSU Press. They're putting out this series called History in an Afternoon. And it's a series that's aimed to be small, short, enjoyable books about a moment in time. Brief, readable, short books that capture either a moment in time or a person or a story, which is what I adore. I love stories. I love to tell stories. I love to hear stories. That's what I enjoy. And so one of the stories that I've come across in studying artillery is the Battle of Thala, which happens directly after the Battle of Kasserine Pass. Rommel has pushed the U.S. forces and, well, he's pushed the Allies through Kasserine Pass. They are backed up to Thala and a couple of other cities on the western front of Tunisia. If he pushes any further, he will burst through their lines and have a clear path to Tebessa, which is in Algeria and is one of the Allies' main supply depots. And if Rommel gets through and gets to Tebessa, well, North Africa would have essentially probably been lost, or it would have lasted a lot longer. Who knows? Battle of Thala, though, features the 9th Infantry Artillery, and just the infantry artillery, because they had received on the 18th of February, the day the Battle of Kasserine Pass officially began. Well, I don't really think it officially began on the 18th, but it was in full force by that point, and they received orders to go down and back it up. And they got there just in time as Rommel had pushed his way through Kasserine Pass, and he was about to push his way through Thala. But Brigadier General Stafford Leroy Irwin, he actually went by Leroy, common nickname was Red, and his grandfather or father and I apologize for not knowing this off the top of my head, but his father or grandfather was one for whom Fort Irwin in California was named. So the men had some lineage. And he brought his artillery battalions down, and they set up basically within a few hours of arrival on the 20th of February. They had marched over 4 days. They had marched 800 miles, and they set up basically within a few hours, well into the night. And by early morning on the 21st of February, they were ready to go, and immediately opened fire on the Germans, even though they were exhausted, tired, worn out. They opened fire on the Germans and spent that day firing everything and anything at them. Irwin called it one of the toughest days of the war, after the war. So that tells you something about how long that day was for him. And as a result, the Germans backed up. And there's a lot more that goes into that. There's some miscommunication, or, well, not miscommunication, some inferences that were made on behalf of the Germans that really helped the Allies. Von Boesch heard the 155 millimeter guns being fired from the 9th Artillery's 34th Field Artillery Battalion. They had the 155s. He was aware that an infantry division, their general support battalion, were 155s. And so assuming that the 155s were there meant that the entire damned infantry division was there, meant that there was fresh blood on the line facing them. His guys were already worn and tired from having pushed their way through Kasserine Pass. He did not think that they could take an entire brand new American infantry division, and they opted to retreat. He wasn't facing an entire brand new American infantry division. He was just facing their artillery, and that played well into the Allies' favor. But without the 9th Infantry Artillery, we very well could have lost Thela. So I find the story incredibly fascinating and very ripe for a book. And so I'm focusing right now on writing a short book on the Battle of Thela, the 9th Infantry Artillery. And I really hope to tell you more about that in coming days. But honestly, I need to know, what in the heaven's name should I be putting onto this channel? What do you guys want to actually know about? Do you want me to tell you about the guns? Do you want me to tell you about the maps, the terrain? I mean, there's so many different World War II channels out there. I'm just another one in the noise. Like, what could I add to spark your interest? Like, the book itself is going to be an absolute amazing book. It's going to be a really cool story. All right. But what do I do between now and then to spark your interest in reading the book? How do I do that? So I'm going to crowdsource. And I am open to suggestions. I'm open to constructive criticism, all right? Constructive, all right? Let's not bash the fact that I did my hair in the video, all right? Or anything like that. Yes, I know I should not be doing my hair in the video. Things that I can fix, or things that I can do. Anyway, I am open to ideas. I am really excited to write this. I just am not really excited to do this. So, you know. Y'all have a great day.